Okay. All right. Today, good morning. It's definitely absolutely morning. Good morning. Today we have Jon Ellis, or better known as Jellis, who's going to be jumping on, and I think he just got a brand new espresso machine, and so I'm going to help him out as best I can with trying to figure out that machine. Jellis is he's an old friend of mine, so I do know him, unlike many people recently. But I'm still going to let him introduce himself rather than me try and fail and say all the wrong things. So, hey, Jellis, what's going on?
Hey,
Go ahead, introduce yourself.
how are you
Sorry, I
doing?
didn't prompt you.
Oh, yes. My name is Jonathan Ellis, better known as Jellis. We know each other formerly from Beijing, and I moved back to the U.S. A few years ago and happened to make my way down to Austin, where we reconnected, and now we're just celebrating life and COVID.
Wait, stop! Stop. I forgot. I have to be wearing an apron for this.
Should I put on an apron as well?
Yeah, do you have an apron to put on?
Yeah.
Oh God, don't tell me you have a Rager Pie apron, do you?
No, unfortunately not. I wish.
All right, you can finish
No
introducing yourself.
worries.
What else did you have to say?
What was that?
You can finish introducing yourself. What else did you have to say?
That's about it.
Okay, sweet. So you got an espresso machine. What'd you get?
Oh yes, so I'm very excited. I got this for a great deal, and it's a Gaggia Classic Pro. I was
Nice.
looking at a lot of different level espresso machines, did a lot of research on the interwebs with some good friends, and came to the conclusion that this was the best kind of standard portafilter entry level model that's almost half the price of its next competitor, and seems to be made well enough that it's better probably the durability of the model just below it. So I'm very happy with this purchase so far.
Okay, awesome. So I know, like, I haven't played around with the Gaggias all that much, but I have played around with them a little bit, and I know that they are amazing, like home machines, like perfect entry level. Let's get this started. It'll take you a long ways, is what they're kind of made for. Do you wanna show us?
I hope so. Yeah, let's so I specifically, let me just tilt my camera down a bit, get a good shot of it. There we go.
Bam! There she is.
Oops. There you go. So it comes in a few colors. I really like this. It looks black, but it's a slightly blue color. I don't have great lighting over here, as we've kind of moved over away from the kitchen to give our kitchen space a little bit more room. But now we have this little bar setup that you can see ever so slightly. So I got
Beautiful.
my grinder, coffee. It's all set up. It's a little. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's just kind of like a little wine coffee area. But particularly excited about this bad boy right here.
Very nice. Okay, so I think what we had planned today is that we're gonna go through the basics of pulling a shot. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do where you just like you walk us through what you're doing and then I scream at you when I have something to say, or do you want me to walk you through it?
You screaming at me for the things that I do wrong is what I live for. So let's go that way.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Um,
Nice little
yes.
distributor you've got there, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I have um, this professional grinder that I was able to get from a good friend, and it works incredibly well. I'm actually missing one thing. I need to get a scale.
All right, go grab that scale. Those are important.
So I have one scale that kind of fits on this, but I'm cleaning it, so I'm going to use my other kitchen scale here. Let's see if this works a little bit better. I've gotten coffee from you, so we're going to use this lovely tiny house today.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
this works out with
throw in a plug for the tiny house. You haven't even opened it yet, huh?
I have not even opened it. No, I have so much other coffee to get through right now. So, I'm excited to try
Beautiful.
this out.
Take a whiff. Smell that coffee. Smell it. You're already doing something wrong. Yes.
That smells. No, I go for the double sniff. So not just once, but twice. Sometimes.
Yes. Yep.
Sometimes. That's. It's not COVID etiquette at all, but I mean, I'm at home. I can do it by myself, right?
That's right.
So
You're
I'm going to
drinking
zoom
for
out.
one.
Can you see everything there in this case? Yes.
Yes. Everything
Right.
fits in the screen there.
Cool. So I'm going to load the hopper a little bit with what I got. I don't bother to measure out that, even though I probably should. But I'm going to be using that a couple times today.
No, you and I are in the same camp there. I'm much more about measuring out the actual ground coffee than measuring what you put in. But
Yeah.
it just helps you like save on coffee. It's not that big a deal.
So I'm trying to get things color specific and working up to pieces. It's like buying a house and getting furniture. Oh, whoops. Seems like you have a package. Hold on a second.
All right, while you're getting your package, I'll dance.
So kind of like buying a house. I don't know. What did you say?
I said while you were getting the package, I would dance.
Oh, nice. That's perfect. So like getting a house, you get kind of furniture that you can afford, and then you start buying pieces that you really like, you know? So this is kind of what I've done that I really like, and I've started to get other pieces. So this is the default portafilter that comes with the Gaggia.
Very
It's okay.
nice.
It's weighted. Nice, but the plastic is a bit, or the handle's a bit plasticky for me. But I love the color of this ring that I bought on Amazon.
Oh yeah,
So
one of those little portafilter funnels.
yeah,
Hey, for the Gaggia
Yeah.
filter basket, I think that they come with a pressurized and a non-pressurized filter basket. Is that right?
that's correct. Yeah, it comes with the one, a pressurized one, a two pull, and a one pull basket.
Gotcha.
A
Do you happen to know
one-shot,
the
two-shot basket.
grind size on the 1 and 2 size? 1 and 2 shot size? Sorry, the gram amount.
So I used the one a little bit, but I mean, who really wants one shot of coffee, right?
You never want
So,
one shot.
I
One
only know-
shots are
So on the two, it's about 19 grams.
okay. Cool.
That's why I found work 19 grams. So that's what I'm going to use for today. So I'm going to rest this on my scale and tare it to 0. Cool. I transfer my grounds from this into that, which makes it a little bit more clean and a little bit less mess, especially since I'm over here away from the kitchen. Just makes the whole process a little bit easier.
Yep. Gotta love those little coffee sieves. Didn't I give you a Espresso branded coffee sieve or no?
I got this guy. Bare
No.
Bones McGee is what I call him.
Bare Bones McGee. Well, hey, we're gonna upgrade you next time I see you.
Nice. I always like upgrade. I'm gonna dump this immediately out because this was some of the coffee he uses, which isn't great. He needs to go through his own coffee story as well, or journey rather. And yeah. Part of this. Can you give me a solid beat there, Wilson?
Hubba dubba 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 hubba dubba 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 hubba dubba 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 hubba dubba dubba dubba. Did I do it? Is that enough?
That's perfect.
Okay.
And now I got those little fun out of there. I love how this comes in and out so well, and how it's I do a lot of baking and a lot of flour into stuff, into a bowl and then add other stuff into it. A lot of difference that I find is the subtle act of sifting, and it makes a lot of difference between the evenness when you're adding butter or eggs or whatever else to flour or dry ingredients together. Sifting is like an important process that people typically overlook. This is kind of like the same thing. So,
dude, I didn't even think about that's like comparable to baking, because this is like this tiny little thing it's mind-blowing how much of a difference it's made in my like normal workflow and the actual taste in the cup at the end. And I'm sure that's true for, like, I don't think I've ever sifted while baking. I just like slap it together and see what happens. But you're right, like that would be huge.
Exactly, especially if you have older flour too. You get natural amounts of moisture that clump up together, and then that doesn't break down as evenly. But also when you're mixing in things like sugar and other stuff like that, you're going to have more of a particular grain that's similar, and that's going to be out instead of just clumps here and there. So this guy. So now that I got this shaken out, and I got my portafilter here, I'm going to add 19 grams. Oops, too much. There you go. And what's nice about this, I know this isn't necessarily, I'll probably have a shot within a little while, or my roommate and I typically have coffee around the same time. So then even if I have a little left in here, I use that for the next shot thereafter, because it's usually within a few minutes or something like that from my roommate, which is nice.
Yeah, my rule of thumb is like 15 minutes after it's ground for espresso. Like if it's within 15 minutes, totally okay.
Excellent. So now that I have this little baby.
Gorgeous. Okay, so this is, do everything that you're doing next, make sure it's in camera, because this, actually, I'm going to blow you up and get you real big, because this is where I have to start paying attention. Wait. Okay, there we go.
Cool, so I just kind of shake this down to get it firmly inside the ring, so when I pull it out, I don't lose anything. And then I do have this from you, which I'm very excited to have.
A nice little distributor. Oh yeah.
Yes,
we don't even sell those. Limited edition.
Exactly, man. I got in when the getting was good.
All right, hold on. Give me a close-up of your portafilter.
With the ring off of it, or the ring on it? So I took the ring off.
Yeah, you took the ring off. Okay. All right.
Leaves it nice and neat, just like this. And then I have this nice little stand that I bought again on Amazon that holds it quite well.
Very nice.
So I use this now to braise the bottom. You see this if I bring this in a little bit closer? Now like algebra class I distribute.
Okay.
There.
When did society get like this? When did we find it acceptable to make jokes like that?
80s. The 80s, definitely. I have this nice little tamp here.
Spring calibrated, very nice.
Rated exactly.
Hey, wait. Okay, all right. No, yeah. Leave it in there. Put it back in gently, and show me a close-up of that. No. Show me a close-up of the Closer. So close. Super close. I don't want to see your action. I want to see the actual portafilter, like the tamper in the portafilter right now. Like get to the edge so I'm checking to see if it's even or not.
Oh. Let me take it out of this then. Is that... It's pretty flush.
Looks pretty good from here. So that's one of the main things that you can check, because you have a double spouted portafilter. That means that you're not going to be able to check your channeling as easily based on like what's coming out of the bottom. Like you don't get to see the bottomless portafilter action. And so being extra careful during your prep is that much more critical. And one of the big steps that a lot of people miss is making sure that this is even, like the spring calibration and the amount of pressure. Kind of important, not super important, not nearly as important as making sure that your tamp is you have an even bed, so when the water hits it and the pressure ramps up, it's like it's going through all of the coffee the same amount at the same time.
Interesting.
Okay, keep doing your thing.
Yeah, that's good to know. As long as it's flush here, it's a little higher on one side than the other, but like.
Yes, that's what we were looking for. So if you have unevenness, like the goal is to always get perfectly even on your first tamp, but it's better to push around the edges with your finger like you're doing right now, and even it out rather than try to pull a shot on an uneven tamp.
That's pretty even now.
Cool.
The second tamp down, this looks pretty good.
And so another thing that you can try experimenting with, I don't know if you've played around with that distributor enough, but it has those dials on there, and so you can dial in the depth of where it pushes. Yeah. So you can actually use just that and not the tamper.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that in some things. I've also seen what do you think about the ones that are like the hybrids that are tamps plus distributors?
No, that's what this is. Like the distributors that have that dial.
They're like this, and then you use the other side to tamp as well. It's super weighted, like this.
Right. And they have like either a flat or a curved surface on the other side?
Yeah, so essentially it's this on one side and then a tamp on the other, and you just like, it's just kind of like a weighted tamp. So you're not actually pushing down to it. It's just to check for even distribution, I guess.
Yeah, those are cool too. Those are essentially the same thing.
Okay, cool. Nice. All right, so let's get over to the money shot, right?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. So I always like to run it through for a second, just to make sure there's nothing dry or cut up into the head.
Very good. That's also important to preheat the group head.
And that comes on like nearly, like, probably did it over a little too much, but that comes in so nicely. Like, I'm really impressed with how good the group heading is with, with a lot of small machines like this. You can feel that, your strength pulling something like that might tear or break something or kind of strain something too much. And this really is quite resilient with that feeling. So when you lock it in there, and like I'm pulling, that it's not pulling the machine too much, or it is
for the practice run of my presentation.
What?
I have a meeting for the practice run of my presentation at 1.
At 1? Okay, we'll be done before then. Don't worry, I'll edit that out. Jellis says hi.
Hi.
Okay, cool. So the one thing that I was that's good to know that it's like a sturdy build quality. That's critical.
Yeah.
But what I would do, have you tried not pulling as tightly? Have you tried pulling a shot when it's a little bit looser?
No. Why would I do
The reason I ask is that pulling it too tightly is one of the easiest ways to put wear and tear on the gasket that's in there. And you'll need to change that gasket like 3 times as frequently if you pull too tightly. So you really just want to lock it in just to the point where it doesn't leak. Like if it leaks, then go as tight as you need to in order to stop it from leaking. But if there is not a leak, then the minimum amount of torque required to stop the leaking is what you want.
Minimal amount of torque to stop leaking. Nice. I think that's like kind of a ubiquitous phrase. That's my new Hakuna Matata.
I use it every day at least 6 times.
All right, cool. So not to over tweak. I'm not going to take it out too much. It seems pretty in there. I don't like overpull it. I'm just, I made that point too earlier, just to say that like it does seem quite like a. I think it's pretty well in there. I don't think I've overpulled it too. Yeah. So let me get a little bit closer with this. There we go. All right. So we have these nice DeLong glasses I use for shots.
And it's got a cup warmer on the top. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. So I got these 2 little nipples up here.
Mm-hmm.
What's nice about it too is that like I can easily take this tray out and fit a standard mug or whatever I'm going to pour into there, or I can leave this in for the runoff water that comes out of it too. So it's nice to have that option, pouring into cups that fit like this perfectly, or if I don't want to lose anything like the crema or whatever, that I can just put a cup in there too. But for this shot, I'm going to do it proper. Let me see. Is that decent for a shot? Oops.
There, that works.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And I like using my watch with everything, so I just set my watch. Can you see that? Just for 30 seconds as I'm going to do the pull.
Okay.
It's a little too fast, and we started a little late too. So we'll call that about 26 seconds. And that's pretty full right there.
Okay.
So the crema is really nice on top. Really great color all the way through. And so the one thing I didn't know about this too is that this kind of build this machine is this almost immediately as I finish, or I've gotten to the habit now that is immediately as I finish the shot, I switch over to the spout, which you have to do this, and this kind of warms up the other side of it. So this pull shots, this warms up or allows the
steam on to get ready.
The steamer.
Right.
Yeah, take a little bit too. And so I like to really make sure this is warmed up, so I give this a few seconds. And then same thing like I did with this, I'll show you. I just kind of take some water out real quick in the other cup, and then I'm able to froth milk in it pretty well. Let me get a mug.
All right, well, hey, Jellis, let me pick on you for 3 things, and then maybe we'll do another brew along where we get into the milk stuff, yeah?
Oh, okay. Pick away.
Okay, so the 3 things that I would suggest. Number 1, the second you're done pulling your shot, take out your portafilter and dump the grounds.
Oh, okay.
Again, a gasket issue and kind of the internal group head issue. I'm not sure how much barrier they have. Oh, wait. Yeah, crap. We also want to see the puck and check and see like how soggy it is, how dry it is, how well together it's been held. Your puck can tell you some things, but it's not super indicative. Okay, so flip it over. It looks like it's got some dry spots in there.
That's because I took it out with the other stuff.
Gotcha,
it's pretty
right.
well. It's very hot.
Evenly saturated. Okay, yeah, you don't have to hold it. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to pick on you for is immediately. You did a great job of like flushing before you pulled a shot. You also need to flush immediately after you pull a shot. Ooh,
Like that.
getting that steam in there. All right, and then the third thing's a minor picky thing. You're going to have a much better results in experimenting with your shots by measuring gravimetrically rather than time-based and volumetrically. So right now what you're doing is you're pulling out your timer and you're saying, okay, I'm going to time this shot and make sure that it fills up the glass every single time in X number of seconds, right? If you do it gravimetrically instead, like you've already measured how much coffee is going into the grind, but if you also measure the yield and measure how much is coming out so you can figure out that ratio, you'll be able to play with and adjust different coffees because everyone is going to react differently. So those are my 3 suggestions. Everything else looks good.
It's weird too. Like I'm trying to impress you in this video, and I would never. Like one of the biggest things in the EU baking is use cups and teaspoons and stuff like that. But cups and teaspoons are not an accurate way to measure things. You want to use volumetric measuring. So you weigh things in grams. All my do stuff in Beijing were always in grams because you weigh stuff out. A cup of a certain type of flour, like a few grams, and that might change the difference in making dry cookies or like moist cookies.
Right, exactly. You get it. Like the density of different materials totally affects the volume of those materials, right?
Exactly. So, shame on me. I should know better.
But it is cool that you have that drip tray that can come out, so you can put a scale under there and then put your whatever glass you want on top of the scale.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Let's plan to do this again, and we'll get into the milk steaming stuff. Yeah.
Sounds good.
And hey, maybe I'm gonna do some baking, and you should teach me to bake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A little barista better than a baker kind of thing.
That's right. Or we should just both do some like cocktail videos and just get shit faced. Yeah.
Ching ching.
All right, Joe. I will catch you around. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Wilson.